Hi, this is Bob Moloney from Miracle Products. We're going to teach you today how to do touch-up bluing with Van's Instant Gun Blue. This is considerably different than the average cold blue, so it's important that you listen to these instructions and don't put it on like you always have. Cold blues basically work by etching with acid, drying on top, and building up layers to get dark. That's paint, that's not bluing. Hot bluing soaked in rust-proofed the metal, and the metal turned blue. That's chemical fact. Van's Gun Blue does what the factory does. It soaks in, rust-proofs the metal, and the metal turns blue. It's a milder form so you can do touch-up. If this was holster wear on your gun, or a scuff mark, and you applied any cold bluing to it, ring around the area, blotchy color, they stink, they rust, they come off. That's fairly common. We're going to blue it. Step one is degrease with a good solvent. I don't mean alcohol. What I mean is acetone, MEK, brake parts cleaner is a good one. Personally, I use Citrogun because it's safe, it's non-flammable, no fumes. Any good solvent will work. After you've degreased it, everything changes. Pour the Van's Gun Blue into a cup and do not apply it with a cotton ball or a Q-tip. Cotton's processed with lanolin, you're spreading grease right back with your bluing. Paper has inks and softeners and perfumes. Cloth has detergent and sizing. Steel wool's got oil. But a toothbrush goes in your mouth. By federal law, it can't have anything in it. Soft bristle plastic toothbrush. Dip that in the gun bluing and rub this in right over top of everything. It cannot overlap. It only reacts to molecules that are white or gray. The longer you keep it wet, the darker it gets. We're not trying to build up layers. We don't ever let it dry. We're replicating dipping it in the hot tanks. So the longer this is wet, the darker and stronger it gets. When it matches factory blue, it quits all by itself. You can't soak in farther than they do. It can't get too dark. The color actually is a response of the metal, so you tend to get the color the factory got. Black on black guns and blue on blue guns. This step, on average, 3 to 5 minutes. I've just gone about 20 seconds. Let's pretend that's done. Once it's dark enough to suit you, don't let it dry. Always wipe it dry. If you let it dry where it was wet longer, it would spot up. You want to wipe that off. At this point, there's a gray haze on there. That haze is precipitated bluing salts. It's just like a hard watermark. If I oil it, it'll take that off. Any petroleum-based oil. Now, petroleum-based oils will do the other thing that you need to do right now. Not only take the gray haze off, but kill the acid from the bluing. Not synthetics, not RIG, WD-40, Ezox. The problem is those are neutral. What you want is something mildly alkaline. 3-in-1 oil, gun oil, sewing machine oil, 30-weight oil out of your truck. I personally use superfine oil because it's thinner and stronger than virtually any other oil out there. So, degrease it, soak the bluing in with a toothbrush till it's dark enough, wipe it dry and oil it, you're done. Treat it like a brand new gun. Cold blues tend to get blotchy, so they tell you take 4-0 steel wool to gently blend them in. And while you're gently blending them in, they come off because they're sitting on top. Not Van's Gun Blue. You can scour it and it will not come off because it's inside the metal, not on top of the metal. That's shiny because I've been buffing the heck out of it. If it was dull before you blew it, it'd be dull when you're done. If I sandblast that and blew it, it would look parkerized. In fact, as we touch up, hundreds and hundreds of parkerized finishes. If you have a parkerized finish with a wear mark, that wear mark is shinier than the surrounding territory because the texture has been rubbed smooth. If you blew that, you're going to have shiny black instead of dull black. No way in the world I'm going to sandblast the whole gun for that spot. So I lay 220 grit sandpaper on the shiny spot, either tap it with a mallet or roll an iron bar across it like a rolling pin to press that bite in. When the white area is as dull as the rest, blew it and you can't tell them apart. So even though it's not parkerizing, if it doesn't stink, doesn't rust, doesn't come off, and you can't find it, who cares? It's not parkerizing. But all of that is predicated on repair. If you fix the damaged area to look the same shine and smoothness of the surrounding territory, when you blew it, you've got a brand new gun. But that's not always appropriate. If your grandfather gave you a gun and he carried it for 50 years and you make it look new, you've ruined it. So on an older gun, it's better to restore. By that I mean this. Degrease it. That's always first. Step 2, take 4-0 steel wool, dipped in the bluing, and wash the gun again. That will suck the rust out of it without hurting any bluing. Wipe that all off, blue it the way I just blued this. The bluing will soak in where the rust came out and restore that to full blue. But where it's pitted, it's pitted. Where it's shiny, it's shiny. Where it's dull, it's dull. It looks like Grandpa's gun, just in wonderful shape for its age. So you can restore a gun. If you're not happy, you can smooth it out and go further. What you can't do is make it look brand new and then change your mind later. So my recommendation is, if there's any question, restore it rather than repair it. Okay? Because of the fact that this is inside the metal, it not only looks like the factory blue, but chemically it responds like the factory blue. So you're actually getting rust proofing. A bottle this size will do approximately 30 guns for touch-up. If you're doing entire guns, long guns from white metal, you could do about 3 long guns with that size bottle. We also sell it in a kit that includes degreaser, bluing, and oil to neutralize the acid. So it's got everything in it except a toothbrush, and you probably have one of those. If you have further questions about Van's gun bluing, we do have a website set up specifically to answer your questions. And because of the fact that it's hard to explain, it's http://vansblue.biz. You go there and it'll answer a lot of your questions. This is Bob Moloney from Miracle Products, wishing you excellent results on restoring your guns. Thank you.